we go.
9th of June, Rabbi Levitt, Pele Yoetz.
Okay, we've got it. So, Bezrat Hashem, we finished Yitaron, and now we are up to Yerida on page 374, going down. What does this refer to? Let's see. And we start with Alan. Oh, Alan, we have you now.
I know, I'm sideways. Yeah, I pressed one of the buttons on top.
You can turn your phone round the other way, horizontally.
Turn my
Is
phone
that-
around. I
Is
have to
that
turn
from
the
your?
computer
No, it's
around.
from his computer.
I have to turn the computer around.
No, there must be. No, there isn't.
Just turn yourself around.
What? Are you on the computer? Looks like you're on the phone.
No, he's so he's on the computer. So he, okay, well, so
Isn't there a
big
circle?
improvement.
Isn't there a circle with an arrow on it to show you can turn it around?
Trying to find it.
Or something else? No? I mean, you can't stay like that all the time. You'll get a headache.
Okay, so Alan, would you like to start off?
Sure.
Yerida.
Page
374.
All right, hold on. You read descent. It is better that a man should descend than ascend in regard to the location of his seating. Behold, Shlomo HaMelech said, it is better that it be said to you, come up here, than your humiliation before a prince. A person should not sit at the very bottom. Rather, after he discerns his appropriate location, he should sit a little beneath that. Similarly, in regard to a spouse, our sages in Ramos recommended descend a level and marry a wife. Only if one is a poor man and will be given a very large dowry, one that will provide him with a peace of mind and comfort to be able to serve Hashem, to stand on guard for Torah and divine service. Then, if he wants to marry a woman from higher circles, he does not lose.
Wow, this is interesting.
Yeah.
Better for a man to descend than ascend. Mm-hmm.
I
And
have
that's
no
what-
idea what he's talking about.
Okay, so the first thing that he mentions over here is this pasuk in Mishlei. Let's take a look at this pasuk in Mishlei, but yeah, let's take a look at it, and maybe we'll understand this a little better. Oh, this Gabor in Yevamos looks interesting. Yevamos 63a.
Mishlei 25:7. your bomb up. Sorry. Let's see if I can go find that.
Okay. I've got Mishlei and I've got Yevamis. This is the Gemara of the Daf Yomi. Okay, so 25 Chafei, Perik Chafei, towards the end. Chafei. Chafei Zion. Chafei Zion. Chafei Zion. Okay. So it says in the pasuk, Ki toiv omar lecha alei heina me hashpilcha lifnei nadiv asher ru'u einecha. So Shlomo Melech says over here, it sounds like it's continuing on from the pasuk before it because it starts with ki. Yeah, you really have to read the pasuk vav before you read pasuk Zion, because pasuk Zion goes together with pasuk vav. So let's take a look at what it says in pasuk vav. Al tis hadar lifnei melech. Don't make yourself so adorned and prominent and important. Lifnei melech, before a king. Ubimkom gedolim, and in the place of a great people. Al ta'amod, don't stand where their place is.
So is great people and king linked together? A great person is somebody who's very wealthy, somebody who's a knight. Is that what it means?
Oh, okay. So you're very good. You're noticing that there's, as is the case in most psukim in Mishlei, they've got two parts. And the first part, he's talking about your conduct in front of a king. And the next one, he's talking about something having to do with people that he calls Gedolim. So there's two different things that he wants to tell us over here. Yeah. So we have to know what's the difference between a melech and Gedolim. So that's a good question. Let's see. I have the Pirush of the Gra over here. Gra says, "Al tisnoa atzmucha lifnei melech." Don't make yourself so beautiful or appealing in front of a melech. Hainu, what does that mean? Kasher ata lomed etzel rav, al toimar lefonov kidushecha v'torasecha. Oh, Ela re'ei tamid lekabel mimenu Torah. Kemo sheparashnu lamala. Ve'esnuim chochma. Kimila basela mashtoika bisrein. Gemara Megillah. Okay, so first off is the Vilna Gaon. I don't know if the other commentators agree with him, but it's the Vilna Gaon over here, right? So he says Melech over here refers to a Rav, a Talmud Chacham. Like it says in the Gemara. Gemara says that the Rabbanim are called Malachim. So that's how the Gra is understanding the Melech over here. And he says, don't, everybody, after a Rav says a drasha, right? What happens? There's two kinds of people that go over to him. There's one type of person that he also wants to, he also would have liked to say the drasha there over there instead of the one that did. So he goes over to the one that said the drasha and he tells him over his drasha what he would have said. And the guy's got to listen to all of this. So that's what the Vilna Gaon is saying over here. Don't go and tell the Rav all of your drushes, all of your chidushim, all of your great insights into Torah. Rather, you should if you really want to learn something, rather than showing yourself off in front of the Rav, it would be better for you to listen to the Rav and imbibe in his wisdom, and then you'll learn something. That's the first part of this. That's the first part. And then the next part he says, "Bimkom gedolim al tamod." Kloimar, bimkom asher omdim sham gedolim b'chashuvim ata al tamod sham. So here he learns gedolim are people of stature, right? They're gedolim and chashuvim.
Stature meaning that they're great in Torah, or
Yeah, what type of, okay, good question. What type of stature is he talking about over here? He continues over here, the Vilna Gaon. V'hainu, im harav gadol mimcha she'ena tayochol menu al tamod lefanov v'telech l'rav acher she'eno charif kamoyu lilmod mimenu kamo Rabbi Meir. Shalom Atchila, Eitzo Rabbi Akiva, V'lo haya yochel lemekam kameh. V'halach Eitzo Rabbi Yishmael ben Elisha, V'lamad mimenu. V'char kach chazu bol Rabbi Akiva kasher nisgadel. Fascinating. You know, the Vilna Gaon, he's kulo Torah. So every pasuk that he looks at, he relates it to Torah learning and learning Torah. So he does the same thing over here as well. Who's the Gedolim over here? It's a Rav, it's another Rav. So the whole pasuk is talking about Rabbanim, according to Vilna Gaon. And the Gedolim are a Rav that is he's on such a level that you cannot understand him. And the Vilna Gaon says, rather than continue to be a Talmud from this Rav and get all the honor that goes along with being the Talmud of, oh, you're a Talmud of Rav so-and-so. Yeah, but I don't understand what he says at all. But yeah, right, I'm a Talmud of Rav so-and-so. No, don't worry about your covet. Go to a Rav that you can understand what he's talking about, and then you'll learn something. And he says, this is exactly what Rebbe Meir did. He first went to Rebbe Akiva to learn by Rebbe Akiva. And then after some period of time, he went to learn by Rebbe Yishmael ben Elisha. Well, wouldn't you rather learn from Rebbe Akiva? Rebbe Akiva, he's the, Rebbe Akiva, he's the tops that there is. Yeah, but if you can't understand him, so you got to go to somebody else. And that's exactly what Rebbe Meir did. He went to Rebbe Yishmael ben Elisha, and he learned from him. He was able to learn from him. And afterwards, after he had gone to Rebbe Yishmael, he went back to Rebbe Kiva. And he became one of the prime Talmidim of Rebbe Kiva. Okay, so that's the way the Vilna Gaon understands that pasuk. Now, so this is not going along the lines as the Pele Yoetz over here. I can already see. The Pele Yoetz is not talking about this. But the idea is that the Pele Yoetz is learning from this next pasuk. Let's take a look at this next pasuk. Ki tov amar lecha alei heina. It's good. It's a good thing if people tell you alei heina, come up here to this higher place that you were in. You're more than the place that you are now. Come up to the place, come up over here. Right? A Rav comes in and he sits, not at the dais with all the people that are considered to be important. And then somebody comes over to the Rav and says, please, Harav, Kvod Harav, please come and sit at the dais. So then he goes and sits at the dais. That's what the Shlomo Melech is telling you. That's what the hanhaga should be, and also for a person, I guess, who's not a Rav. All the more so for someone who's not a Rav, that he shouldn't go and sit at the dais. If they tell him, please, you should sit at the dais, okay, so then you go and do that. That's what you do. But you don't want to be in the opposite situation. You don't want to be in the situation where you go and sit in an important place, and then somebody comes over to you and says, "Oh, could you please move because there's somebody important that's coming right now, and he has to sit over here." So this is not simply just a good way to avoid being humiliated. It's not just advice of how to not be humiliated. That's not what Shlomo Melech is telling us. But he's telling us that a person will be more successful in his endeavors, especially in Ruchnius, and I would suspect even in Gashmius as well, if he goes in this way, that he starts off on the lower level, and the people come and want to elevate him, and want to tell him to assume more responsibility and assume more stature, etc., etc. That's the idea over here. That's the idea over here, and okay, but we didn't. You want to know exactly why that is? Is that understandable? Is that understandable why that should be a person's hanhaga?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it can't simply be that Shlomo Melech is saying, "Here, I'm going to give you a good eitzah so that you won't be humiliated unnecessarily by being told to move away from the important place to allow room for people who are truly important." That's not what Shlomo Melech is coming to tell us. Does anybody else have any commentary on this pasuk that the Pele Yoetz is?
Commentary. I've got a lot of commentary around here, but would have to sort it out. Targum,
Okay.
Talmud, Midrash, Kabbalah, Jewish thought, Hasidus, Musa.
Okay, I get the point.
Yeah, I don't really.
When it says a woman of higher circles, it's
Yeah.
talking about Torah circles?
Okay, so that's
Excuse me.
that.
Please.
Then the Pele Yoetz is talking a little bit more practically over here. He's saying an example of this hanhaga that we see from the pasuk in Shlomo Melech to not conduct yourself with a bearing which is beyond your stature, and to even go to a place which is even a bit lower than what your actual stature is. We see a real live example of how that has application in this Gemara in Yevamos. This Gemara in Yevamos, let's take a look at this Gemara. Did everybody bring a Gemara in Yevamos?
I'm getting it.
63a. Samech Gimel Amid Aleph.
What page?
63a. Noches Darga v'Nose Isha.
Wrong volume.
Aye.
Okay, let's see where it is.
Motse Nimar Mimavas as a Isha. I don't think that's what it's talking about.
It's pay Gimel?
No, Samech Gimel Amid Aleph.
Samech Gimel. Okay.
These here. Oh, recommended.
Bender level and Mario Y.
Oh, you got it?
No, not yet.
Yeah, got it.
But we've used this reference before for some reason.
To send
Wait.
a level to marry a wife.
Where is that?
Yeah, where is it? I still don't see it actually. Where is it on the page? Oh, I see it here. It's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 lines from the bottom of the page. Okay.
What's the first word on the line?
The first word in the line is nochis. Nochis means to go down, bend down, darga, a level. Nosiv Isasa, marry a wife.
Ah, I see. I've got it here. Yeah. It's together with a few other things that I don't know why. There's a hole in your house, close it up. And do not build it again. Whoever engaged in construction becomes poor. Hurry to buy land so you do not lose the opportunity. Be patient and marry a woman who is suitable for you. Descend a level to marry a woman of lower social status, and ascend a level to choose a friend.
So it seems like there's two different things that the Gemara is saying over here. Kafotz Zavin Ara, jump to if you want to acquire a piece of land, if you want to make sure you acquire a piece of land, kafotz, jump for it. Don't dilly and dally. But on the other hand, when it comes to a wife, masun, be calculated and deliberate, and don't do anything without thinking it through properly. Masun nesev itza. Be like a judge, like it says in Pirkei Avos, have masunim badin. In terms of judgment, one should be very slow and deliberate and thorough. And then it says what the Pele Yoetz quotes. Nochis darga, go down one level, nasev itza.
Darga means a level.
Yeah. Now you want to know what level. What do we mean? Go down a level. What's defined as a level? What are we talking about here?
Exactly.
So okay, there's two Rashis on these two statements. Rashi can be found towards the bottom of the page. Just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines from the bottom of the Rashi pages. We go up to 7 lines up from the bottom. You'll get Dibra Maskil Masun Nesiv Itza. Be deliberate. Don't be too hasty when it comes to marrying a wife. It's not a piece of property. Rashi says, Hamtein adjective dok maseha shalo tehei ra v'katronis. Be deliberate and analyze and until you have checked out what type of a lady she is, what are her masim, how does she conduct herself? Because you don't want to have one who is difficult and argumentative and not willing to listen. You don't want Rav Kantronis. That's the first Rashi. Next Rashi says,
What does that last phrase mean?
Kantronis means when you say, whatever you say, she says the opposite.
Okay, so it's not talking about Torah, it's talking about midos.
Right. You know, like some people, whatever you say, they say the opposite. They like to They like to. That's what they like to do, and to try to disprove what you are saying. That's a kantronis. And by the way, that's one of the things that is a very, very not acceptable way of behavior, especially when it comes to Torah learning. And here Rashi's mentioning it in regard to a marriage.
And what is this word, shativ dok?
To be bodek, to check out. Bodek, to check.
So until you've checked out her mitos.
Right.
For example, that she's not a contrary person.
Yeah.
Okay, I got it.
Okay, the next one though, it says nochis darga v'nosif itza. So what does that mean? Rashi says lo tikach isha chashuva mimcha shema lo tiskabel aleha. Don't take a wife who is more chashuv than you are. What does this mean, more chashuv than you are? This could mean this could mean with regard to her family stature. It could be in regard to that's generally what it's that's what I would understand over here.
So again, it's not clear to me. You could say, for example, a commoner shouldn't try to marry a princess, or you could say a Baal Tshuva shouldn't try and marry the daughter of her great rabbi,
Right?
or you could say that
What's going to happen?
Try to marry
What?
the daughter of a rich person. There's a lot of different ways to interpret what chashuv means here.
Right. So it could be in any one of those things that you mentioned. And then Rashi gives you the reason why that is. Why should it be like that? Because one could think, what do you mean? That way I'm getting something more than what I am, and more, that'll be good for the family, good for the children, and et cetera, et cetera. Well, what's wrong with it? Says Rashi. And this is not just Rashi, this is Chazal. Chazal say this. Shema lo tiskabel aleha. Maybe you will not be acceptable to her. Maybe she won't accept you. She won't accept you as the husband. She won't accept your authority. She won't accept your view. She won't accept you. She will always be looking down on you. She'll always be looking down on you to say that, oh, he's not up to my level.
So you should marry a woman who is less chashuv than yourself, according to Pele Yoetz.
Right. That's what we're saying over here. Let's see what if there's any other comments over here other than Rashi. Right. Right. This is right. The Meiri adds onto Rashi's comments that yeah, she may try to rule over you, and she all the more so she won't obey and accept what your views are in regard to what needs to be done in the house and in the family. Okay, so that's the concern. Then the Pele Yoetz mentions, but if he is a poor man and he will be given a very large dowry, so then he won't need to. That'll give him peace of mind and comfort, and then he'll be able to serve Hashem and to stand on guard for Torah and divine service. So then, if he wants to marry such a woman from higher circles, he does not lose. So says the Pele Yoetz. Okay, that's an interesting thing. Just incidentally, I remember when I was getting married, there was an article written in the Jewish Observer, Olav Hashalom. If anybody remembers the Jewish Observer, that they had an article there based upon the teachings of Rav Avram Pam, Zecher Tzadik Lebracha, the late Rosh Hashiva of Torah V'das in America. And he said over there, he said the main thing is to, he says people that are looking for yichus or for gelt, they might find a shidduch that has that, but it's he doesn't recommend it. He doesn't recommend it. He doesn't recommend it. So
That seems to be contradicting the Pele Yoetz.
yeah. It's an interesting thing what the Pele Yoetz says. I mean, you know, most of our I mean, you know, like who did Rav Chaim Kanievsky Zatzal? Who did he marry? He married Reb Elyashiv's daughter. So Reb Elyashiv didn't have a lot of he wasn't known as a rich man, at least rich in terms of being able to give a large dowry. I don't know if he gave a large dowry. Maybe he did. I don't know. But
Wasn't he the Gadol Hador?
What?
Wasn't he the Gadol Hador?
Yeah, but I mean, see, he wasn't. From what I understand, in the house of the Kanievskis, that it wasn't the house of we could describe them as a house of that they lived in you know in Western terms they would call it abject poverty, but he did not look. His father, the Stipler, didn't look for his son for someone who would be able to provide a large dowry, unless you say greatness in Torah was the large dowry.
Yeah, well, that's what I was thinking. He went for the top of the line in terms of chashuv.
Yeah.
That's why
I
I
think
keep
that-
asking these questions, because I'm trying to understand, you know, what we're talking about here.
The Pele Yoetz would appear to be a chiddush over here. I don't know if this is something that if you know, I mean, you know, that even there have been some Rabbanim who've said if you have a shidduch that has money and you have a shidduch that doesn't have money, go for the shidduch that doesn't have money. Because when there's money, there's big problems over the money.
Right.
But the Pele Yoetz is saying the opposite of that. He's obviously talking about a case where the people are. He's saying. Let me just see what he says here in the Hebrew. Rakim hu ish ani. Only if in the case that he's a poor person. Nosnin lo ma'od mohar b'matan ba'oifen yelo ishu b'harvacha la'avodas Hashem. You know what? The truth of the matter is that the brisker of, he was given a very large dowry by his father-in-law. But you know what the story was? The story was that the whole dowry went down the drain, and he had absolutely nothing. And after that, he just took a chovos alavovos, and he said, what we need to be boteach in is we need to learn chovos alavovos. So instead of being boteach in a large dowry, we'll have be talking in Hashem. Hashem will provide for us, and that's the way the brisker Rav did. He was I think he was one of the few heads of a he had a. I don't know if he didn't have a large number of Talmidim, but he did have a certain number of Talmidim, and he did pay them every month. And even still, he never worried about how he was going to pay them. He never did any extra effort in order to get the necessary funding in order to pay them. I don't know exactly where it is that he got the money in order to pay them. He never went to America to raise funds like many other Rosh Yeshiva did. But in any case, he always the story is that he always had for them. But in any case, what the Pele Yoetz is saying over here, if you read the words in the Hebrew very carefully, I think, it says over here, Rakim hu ish ani, only in the case where he is a poor man, Nosnin lo ma'od mohar umatan, they give him a large dowry, but often, in a way, shielo yishuv b'harbacha la'avodas Hashem, that with that large dowry, he will have the ability to have peace of mind and be able to serve Hashem and do what he has to do in everything. That's the in other words, the money has to lead to the ability to engage in avodas Hashem without being with having peace of mind. So if it's the type of money from the type of family that is not going to lead to that, money always doesn't necessarily lead to that. In many instances, the reason the father-in-law has a lot of money, and he also wants to see to it that his son-in-law is going to be able to do the same thing as well. He wants right. I mean, I know personally from the people in Los Angeles that the rich people marry one another in many cases, and they don't take a poor son-in-law learning in yeshiva as a son-in-law. Maybe if they have if they have 10 daughters, maybe one of them they'll do. They don't do that. But in any case, that's really the bottom line. The bottom line is that the Pele Yoetz, I would say, is if it's a situation where the person is very poor, And by doing this shidduch, he's provided with a dowry in such a way that it will enhance his avodas Hashem, and he'll be able to truly shine in avodas Hashem. So Lakach Isha Mimakum Gedolim. He could then take a wife who is from a place which is higher than him. And he says, Lo Hefsid, he won't lose out. He won't lose out. So we're wondering, according to Rashi, why isn't there a concern that the wife is used to luxury, and here she's going to be brought into a house with somebody who's an ani, and he's, I don't know. I mean, what's he going to do over there to try to support her? Just rely on the dowry from her father-in-law? I don't know. To me, it doesn't sound like a good arrangement. But the only thing that I could say is the Pele Yoetz says, if it could be done in a way that will enhance his avodas Hashem, meaning that his wife is going to be on board. Maybe, I mean, we're not saying that in all cases. That's what the Pele Yoetz is saying, that there may be exceptions to this general rule, not to marry someone who is at a higher level. And if the person wants, he could do that. They shouldn't. They may be very nice people. The fact that they're wealthy doesn't mean that they're not nice people. There are some nice people that are wealthy, some wealthy people that are nice, and they have good midos, and they're nice people. There is such a thing, and he has the fortune to marry into a family like that, and the wife respects him. So why not, right? Why not? It'll enhance, says the Pele Yoetz, if it's going to enhance his avodas Hashem, because he won't have to be so bound to the Torah of a parnasa. He'll be able to devote more time to avodas Hashem and Torah and various mitzvahs. Whatever. What's wrong with that? Says the Pele Yoetz. Lo Hefsid. He didn't lose out. He says, Lo Hefsid.
It's 11:38.
Oh, okay. We don't want Mayor to be mafsid. We
Right.
don't want Mayor to lose out. So
Very good. Everyone should be well.